last episode, we ended up setting up a giant steam engine for our create sort of setup that's going on over here. But there's something that I kind of want to mess with today, and you guys have suggested, well, and of course a couple of fixes as well. I know it's been a little bit. I do read the comments, I promise. I cannot believe I messed this up. I completely messed this up. This has been wrong. I probably could have gotten away with just 2, but instead I ended up changing the gearbox and rotating it wrong. I'm so sorry. It's really hard to like see. I don't know how I missed that. I guess I was just in the moment. But we're gonna look at some other rotation that involves our Ars Nouveau setup, or Ars Nouveau. Like, I'm kind of excited to set this up. I don't know if I want to use it specifically for like a decoration purpose or what, but it is going to involve this, and that is going to be a Starbuncle inside of a water wheel. Yeah, that's going to be super fun. I need to grab a few things. Let's see. Let's take a look at ours. I think actually ours. We need to pop into here, and I'm gonna have to set back up my arcane core and a couple of pedestals. We only need 4 pedestals, I think, for this. I don't need that, and I don't need the source link. I have no idea where my other part to my enchanter went. Yeah, the good old enchanting apparatus. That's what I'm missing. So I'm gonna set this up right here temporarily. That goes on top, I believe. And then I'm gonna put just 4. I think that's all we need for this. But what I'm gonna be making is a Starbuncle. So normally with a Starbuncle, you have these. I have 2 of these. You can get a Starbuncle. It looks like via Villager, but I believe the Starbuncle comes. Yeah, when you give a wild Starbuncle a gold nugget, it will turn into this. And so if you see them out in the wild, they look like little squirrels. And we're going to be making this. So I need some gold. I'm going to grab this, put this together. Got tons of gold gear, by the way. And we need this to go in. Let's see. Recipe found, pedestal, 2 and then 3 blocks. Right. There we go. So all of those are in. Thankfully, this doesn't need anything fancy. Just need to put this together. Get this crafted up, which is honest. I love this crafting mechanic. It is beautiful. There we go. Starbuncle charm. Now we need a water wheel. So I'm going to put together a water wheel, and then we combine this with the water wheel, and we get a Starbuncle wheel. This has to be the most adorable thing I've ever seen. And when we place it down, it's literally a Starbuncle in there rotating. So you can use this for small setups. It says right here it only generates 16 RPM, revolutions per minute. I don't know what its stress. It has a low stress capacity. But if you put a gold block in front of it, that's where things get interesting. So let's put a gold block in front of it. I feel like this is like something funny. It's more than practical. Like, this is just something that's more just hilarious. So if you put a gold block in front of it, it goes faster. Oh, it produces 384 stress units with a gold block in front of it? Oh, now this is the same as a water wheel. Oh my gosh. That's super useful. It's the same as a water wheel without actually needing a water wheel. But when you put a gold block in front of it, that's 384 stress units. That's quite a bit, actually. Let's see. That would be enough to run one of these operations over here. So if I was to break this, which is currently running that, well, actually this is running off the 2 water wheels. This right here, right, is currently running off of this 1 water wheel. We can't place these on their side, so that kind of limits where you can put them. But that would totally be able to power this. So if I go ahead and pop that, and I place this there, and put the gold block in front of it, it speeds it up, and it also kind of looks interesting. That is funny. I really wanted to test this out and see what that was like. That's pretty usable though. And like I said, Starbuncles are pretty easy to get your hands on. It is nighttime. Let's go ahead and sleep. I'm sure we're going to be able to find plenty of them. Yeah, here, for example, here's a couple of them. And I don't know, do you right click? It's been a while. Do you right click on them or you just drop it? I think you just drop it and they go pick it up. Oh yeah, as you can see, it's got one. Yeah, and once it picks it up, or once it picks the things up, yeah, you get them. That is pretty cool. The other one went over here. But Starbuncles are very, very useful for other things. Like once you create them, you can place them into the world as well. Very, very useful little mobs here that'll pick up items for you. And they'll deposit them into a chest that you use the Dominion wand for to define. Come on, there we go. Look at that. And sometimes you can get more than one, which, yeah, I don't know how that works, but you do get more than one. And like I said, you can place them on the ground and they look like this. How cute. Of course, there's no items or locations, but I'll just leave that fella there. So today, getting back into Create, well, is all about annihilating our entire setup. We are tearing all of this down in preparation for the big move. That's right, I've got a ton of stuff I gotta get done. We're gonna be moving all of our power sources, getting all of this stuff moved. Thankfully, we do have, yeah, 11. That's plenty for now. We're gonna get all of this stuff set up. There we go. Oh yeah, by the way, these things can place, the deployers can place blocks. But I want to get all of this stuff set up in a more organized fashion. And it's going to be able to utilize this. Now, a couple of you guys had some suggestions on this. And one of them is actually kind of important. We can speed this up even more and actually get over that hump of 100,000 stress units. And to do that, we would just have to give it more water. Currently, I'm using this for the water. And we could technically take the water up one more. If we were just feeding it enough water, we have enough heat to bring this up to level 6 on our boiler status. So that might be something we do in the future. But for right now, I'm not super worried about it. Not super worried about it. But it is looking pretty good. So yeah, I'm going to get this all cleaned up. And then we are going to start working on something new. And you're going to be like, well, what's new? Well, trains. I kind of want to get trains and the components for trains set up. Although we can kind of play around with trains. I think there's going to be a little bit beforehand. Like we're going to need to definitely get some crafters set up from this mod. And utilize some of the crafts for that. So right now I'm sort of planning out a build. And the idea is this is the train station. So we'll have a train station. And this will be the train tunnel that it runs through. That is going to be connected to our Create building. This is, of course, the main feature of the building. But I'm building this out so that way I have enough space. So right here is going to be the tunnel, right? And so I have that laid out, 7 blocks, and then we're spacing it by 3. And then I'm going a few more blocks here, 7 more blocks or whatever over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7. And then we need to line this all the way down here, giving this build enough space. Now, I do want this to sort of be the back of the building. And I don't know. I don't know if we want this sticking out the back of the building or what have you. I think that might be an interesting choice to not have this inside the actual building itself. Instead, have it sort of sticking on the outside. To do that, I'm thinking right about here. And of course, giving myself some space and aligning that with this. Of course, I'm 1 block over. But all in all, I'm going to get this sort of structured out so we can get a floor. We definitely need a floor. And I want an entrance to be over here. I want this to go into an entrance. So of course the train tunnel can be a lot longer than this. Let's see. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Make sure to place that out here. And yeah, that'll give it plenty of space, I think. Maybe one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll give it enough space so that way we can have some pillars in between. And I want the train tunnel to be longer than the building itself. So of course, 3 blocks out. And then this can be an entrance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 5 is plenty for an entrance. And then I'll be sure to carry this over so we can keep sort of the same structure here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. and we stay symmetrical. So perfect. Now that I have all this done, I can sort of get an outline to where I'm going to have this going. Now, I did decide to have this butted directly onto the side of the building. And so I did move this over one, and it also makes sure that this is still in an odd number. So I'm going to get the foundation laid out. The floor is definitely going to be a little taller. I want this... I want this still to be visible in some way. We might end up tearing down the like terraces, the girders and stuff. But I want this to still be visible. But I also want to transfer this power hidden and have that actually go underground and under a layer. So this will probably be the base layer right here. Like right here will probably be where we're going to have it. And yeah, I think this is going to work. It's going to be a lot of work ahead of me as far as building goes. So I am slowly but surely framing this out, and I got the floor in. I think the wood looks pretty good, and I think it'll look pretty good when mixed with some andesite casing and stuff, and we can definitely get some factories put in here. And this outside, I think I'm going to leave it sort of like this, where this is going to be how the outside looks on this side where the train track's going to be. I don't know. I got a lot of like ideas. This is my first time messing around with trains. I still want this building to be castle-esque in style. So I still want the top to actually not be an actual regular roof. Because I want to keep it in the same general style, I think it needs to be like this. Does seem like that was kind of off, wasn't it? We'll just continue like that. Must have a size off on something. But yes, I still want the roof to have that castle-y vibe going on. So now, at the moment, I'm sort of scratching my head. I've got a foundation built out, and I'm still keeping it with this castle-esque theme. I'm still debating on whether or not I'm going to strip the upper logs here. But this is our power plant in the back. And I still want to have towers on the sides here. I think that'll definitely define it and give it some more features. But this is the entrance to the train area right here. Now inside, I'm loving it. I'm liking the way this is working. And I think once we get some more conveyor belts and machines in here, it's going to look a little bit better and more cohesive as what we're doing. But with that train system, you know, usually the train, I think for my case, I'm not going to use it to transport items back and forth. More or less just as a fun thing to travel around the base and just go around the base in. Or we can create a loop and create a big portal that it takes us through the nether. But I just kind of want to have something to sort of do with trains. And I haven't messed with create trains, so this will be kind of fun. Now, to set up the trains, I'm going to need a train track. And then within create, we are also going to need, let's see. I don't think we're going to need the train station. We might to get started, but there's the train chassis. All of this kind of shows you everything that you need to sort of get started. I'm pretty sure you place the train chassis onto the train tracks, but we need to make the train tracks. So I guess one of the cool things that we can set up is a train track maker. Yeah, and as you can see, we're going to need 2 deployers and we're going to need a press, and we should be able to hook that into a conveyor belt. Now, I do need to get my power from here transferred over. And let's find a fun place to put this. So right here, we're going to have our deployer. Now, I think I want this to be the input and this to end up being the output. So 2 deployers and then a press. And now I have this inlaid into the floor to, I don't know. I thought it might look a little bit better to have this setting in the floor. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of don't like it at the same time. This is where at the same time, I feel like having it in the ground may not be the greatest idea. Yes, it does look a little bit better being recessed in the floor. I think like having your belts pushing items looks pretty good in the floor, but I'm going to actually move this up. Now, of course, with me placing it a little higher like this, I am going to use some casings, and thankfully they don't actually take up the casing. So we can apply casing, and that makes it look like it's actually on the ground, which definitely fits a lot better in this. So I'm thinking about trying something kind of fun here at the end, and instead of just having this go from one to the other side, we can use the weighted ejector again for this. I love the animation of the weighted ejector. So if we place this here, you can see we should be able to power it from over here. And then I also need a belt that needs to be in this rotation. And I think that this will end up going in this direction with just a plain Jane gearbox on the corner here, if I remember correctly on the transition. So we have all of the stuff that's happening right here. And then, of course, we need a funnel to get the items out. But we just need to power it. So, like I said, I'm going to be routing the power over here. And I think this little setup's nicer. So we have an input here. And then right here will be our results. And I really like the idea of that. Plus, it makes it a little bit easier to set up automation as far as inserting the items. Now, I kind of want to include refined storage in this. So here's the thing. This will be the first thing that we set up refined storage for. We also need to get these filled with the items that are going to be required for the track. So we need 2 iron, and that's it. So we just need 2 iron nuggets fed to this. Now, there's a couple things we can do. We can always feed this iron nuggets, or we can include the iron nuggets in the chest here. If we do that, we need to create a belt line that is separate that goes off the side here, potentially. We could use some other way to pull the items up and to collect the items over here. I don't know how easy that is going to be to do. So what I'm thinking, and this is just, of course, off the cuff. So if we have the items shoot up right here, I would need some sort of barrel to pull the items over here. I don't think they will immediately just jump onto a belt. But you know what? If we have a barrel that is right here, right? And we have our funnel right here, I think that this can send the items up, and we can actually collect the items here with another andesite funnel. So we just need to make sure this is rotated. And so the items that pop up out of here should enter here. And then we can just use a andesite funnel to send these items out onto this conveyor belt, and then use andesite funnels to go into the chutes that are directly above here. Just need to rotate these. And that should be able to transfer. And then all we have to do is when we request, we use refined storage to send the items directly into this chest, and then use this chest as the import chest. Now, just a quick little refined storage thing. We're going to need the transmitter. I believe the transmitter is what receives. Yeah. So we put the card in here, and then here's the receiver. We'll put this back inside here somewhere. We need it inside the building. I'm going to put it close to this for right now. Let's put it sort of in the middle, right down here. That way we have access to this thing across our base. Oh, good. That way we don't have to run massive amounts of cables all the way down here through all the ground. Yeah, that would get kind of annoying kind of quick. It's only 70 blocks. Not that far. There we go. And I already have myself the crafter set up and the importer. We just need to go to our space station actually real quick. I should be fine. I don't think I need a helmet, right? I'll probably take damage. Yeah, I'll take damage right here, but oh my gosh, and freezing? Wow, that is pretty rough. But yeah, we need to create a pattern. Okay, so it's a little bit difficult to kind of describe this, but let's see if create is going to allow me to define these. Will it? We need to say send a slab and also nuggets. Oh, it does work. Well, ain't that fantastic? So there we go. We've created our project. So that's exactly what we need. We're sitting here dying because I don't have my helmet on. We don't have the whole area set up with air either. But yeah, that should be perfect. So to just finish this off, let me go ahead and get our cables ran over here. And of course, we should be able to cover this up as well. So cables. And we'll just run the line all the way down here. I'm leaving enough space, hopefully, so that way we don't interfere with any of our create things. So I'm going a layer down. So crafter facing you, and then an importer on this. And then we should be able to just hook a single cable up to that. Perfect. Cover that up. And then, of course, we are going to need our refined storage wrench in order to rotate this block. Perfect. And now we put the craft in there. And technically, once we get the power ran, this should work. So I'm going to go ahead and get power hooked up to this. I almost forgot one thing. We can't just send the items directly in like this. Because if we only request one train track, right, we're going to run into the problem where this right here, this one deployer, accepts 64 of the nuggets. And if we request one train, it's going to send 2 nuggets. So we need this to be able to go into here and then go into here. Which means we might need to split somehow the nuggets in half. Now I'm going through the logic of this. I have everything sort of laid out, and the gearbox is here. We need to get a vertical gearbox to send this up. Now I'm going to use a vertical gearbox here as well, because this is of course how we're going to get this thing powered. And as you can see, everything is going just as you would hope. And then I think right here, I'm going to connect some cogs. So just using some simple cogs. Now with cogs, you can definitely dress them up and make them look like they're not this. So this looks a whole lot better, I think, than just having plain Jane cogs. Of course, the footprint on this is a lot larger than I was actually hoping for, but it'll be fine. This'll work out, I think. Now, right here, what I was thinking is extending out and connecting into this. So currently, we have the cogs, and let's see if this gets this actually spinning properly. If I hook that there, that's spinning the wrong way. Oh, bummer. So, how do I fix that? Well, I could instead use a belt here, and I almost wonder if the belt will change the way this is being connected. So let's try this instead. And that's still going the wrong way. I did decide to kind of see if this is going to work, splitting the items evenly. I'm hoping this will split evenly. Otherwise, I'd have to use some other setup. As you can see, it's hopefully we'll split evenly here on both sides. And then it'll go into this one and go into this one. These are chutes. They're going to drop straight down. They don't actually hold items, though, I don't believe. But this should go straight downwards. Huh. I guess for this, I could use something else. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Connected right here, I could just use a chain drive, and this also gives me an excuse to use it. So I should be able to rotate this. There we go. And then connect that. So as you can see, we have the chain drive going. Now, this doesn't solve a huge problem for me, but it does connect here. And then I can actually hook a chain drive up to this and this from this one. And that will continue as if it was a belt. As you can see, that's going the same way. That's also spinning that one. And then to get this working, all I have to do is drop in that. And now these are both working, including the press here. So it may be a little bit more complicated than it actually needs to be, but everything is powered. And now in refined storage, let's go ahead and request a track. And I hope this works. So, vertical logic, did it work? I think it did. And let's see. Do we have a track? We do not. I don't know what we have, actually. Why did it pick the track up? You know what? I bet this isn't able to send to this at this point. I wonder why. Because, like, it can't throw it that far? It's throwing through, and it ends up going onto the belt or getting caught in this. We can solve that problem, I think, by making sure that this is a andesite, or sorry, a brass funnel. And then filtering what this actually accepts. That should work, right? Yeah, filtering, and we'll say iron nuggets. Perfect. Let's see if we can actually get this to function again. All right, let's throw that in there. and request another train track. Those went in. It did its thing. Sent it over. Oh, and I think it lands right on the belt. Oh no, it worked. It worked. I'm so excited. Oh, this whole setup is paid off. And we now have automated train tracks. Oh, this is why I wanted this building, so I can make little contraptions like this. And could I have done this with pipes? Yes, I definitely could have done this with pipes. But instead, I wanted to do it this way. And try my best to utilize Create to do it. And I love it. Now, I almost forgot one thing, and that was to set the filter here. And then I had to change this to a brass funnel, so that way we have this filtered out as well. Because we don't want this pulling out nuggets since we're putting everything in the same chest. So I had to specify that. Now, let's go ahead and try and craft like 10 tracks. And let's see. Is this going to work? This is not pulling in. Some odd things are at play. Oh, I forgot to place my barrel. Oops. Of course it's not going to work if there's no barrel. Pick those up. And I did put a trapdoor here to make sure that there was everything there. For some reason it's landing on the depot, but not. The depot's not triggering and sending the item off. That is a weird problem to have. So for some reason I could not for the life of me get the ejector to work, and I think it has to do something. It definitely had something to do with the way that our setup was working here. So I have to take all of this down, and I'm going to be using this to power it now. So this will be a little bit different, basically the same, sort of the same thing that we had. I think chain drives will still work, because I think we can rotate the direction, right? You can see we can rotate the direction here. So it's a great way to go from this way to this way. And we still should be able to hook in. It doesn't seem like we can hook in there. Maybe because we changed directions. But I can get this placed in. So that has power. And I could just extend the belt to this, I think. Yeah, that might be the way to go, is just to extend the belt through there. Perfect. Now I do want to place a trap door on top of the belt here, just to make sure items don't get flung off the belt. So as you can see, I have a trapdoor here to stop the items from getting flung off the belt. And it just sort of, yeah, that should work. But I do need a funnel on this side. Hopefully this funnel will collect the items that get flung off of it, because I don't want it directly next to this one. I mean, only one way to tell, right? Train. Make sure there's nothing on those. And let's see if this works. Oh boy. All of this for some train tracks, but we're going to need a ton of them. So having it automated is going to be a must. And that worked. That was pretty straightforward. So now to request like more of them and see how this functions. I think this is going to be the way to do this. Wow. So now with the tracks in hand, we should be able to place, and I think if we, yeah, select again, you can see it'll actually draw out an area and allow us to sort of place tracks in all kinds of wonky manners. That's pretty cool looking. Of course, I want the tracks to go out to here, and so I place them on gravel because, of course, even around where I live, of course, train tracks are built usually on top of gravel. And so I think this is very, very fitting for this. Oh, it's so good. We are so close to having actual trains from Create. Now, there is another step in Create, and I think I'm going to build this real quick. But to actually be able to place a train and make a casing, the actual train casing, we need the sturdy sheets. And sturdy sheets do need to be automated as well. And so this is going to require us crushing obsidian dust. And this might be a whole setup on its own that we're going to have to do. But thankfully we should be able to get obsidian dust from other methods. I just don't know if this is going to allow us to use those other methods. It does say mechanism. We can macerate, get it from an obsidian comb. That is one way. Or we can just toss obsidian in and it can crush and we can filter out. I think that's probably going to be how I end up doing it. So there is a step before this. So we need to make this material, which is just providing that into 2 crushing wheels, and fill it with lava and then press it 2 times. That's literally all we have to do. I might be able to compact this. Now I am going to set this up. So I went ahead and made my mechanical crafter. We're going to need this in order to craft, well, the giant wheels. Yeah. And so this gets surrounded by andesite. You can set up this. You can set this up for automation if you absolutely wanted to. Because I'm only going to be making 1. I have it set up over here being powered. And it should land on the depot when it's done. Well, it never lands on the depot for me, apparently. But I have it pointed here, and as you can see, it spit out the 2 crushing wheels. So we have the crushing wheels done. Fantastic. So I sort of thought this out, and I went ahead and laid it out because I am definitely running short on video time. But I would normally build this. The only thing I haven't set up yet is the actual thing here. I think I need to rotate this. Can I rotate that? Oh, no, it actually won't let me do that. What I can do here is I should be able to get this laid out, but the main preface is this right here is going to take our obsidian, crush it. If it produces extra obsidian, that's going to get looped back around into here, which is a 75% chance, by the way. So once this starts, it's going to continue for a while, and should be pretty self-sufficient. Should make multiple of these. Of course, we do need lava. This needs to be set up in a way that's a vertical, like this. We can get power for this wheel. We should be able to get power through a gearbox that is connected here. It's just making gearboxes, bunch of gearbox. There we go. Making sure that is powered, and do vertical here. I hope this is going to spin the right way. It is spinning the right way. Okay, now the fun part. How do I get back here? Let's remove this temporarily, and we can scoot this back a little bit. We need to get this hooked in as well, and I think this actually might work out perfectly if I have another vertical gearbox that's connected to this gearbox. Oh my gosh, it worked. And then all I have to do is extend my belt back like that. Oh, that's right. Why is this now not functioning? Oh, that's because I added. So we're gonna have to go back into here and inside this belt. Let me actually break through the wall real quick. Inside this belt, we have to, this is what's spinning it. So there we go. Perfect. Okay. So that is functioning. I mean, everything's technically working. So as soon as I feed it this, it should get crushed. It gets done there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait, what was that? Unprocessed obsidian sheet. That is definitely not what I was wanting. So, oh, the presses aren't powered. Oh, yeah. Okay. So to get the presses powered, I can just use a gearbox, I guess. Chain this up. Yeah, I can definitely hook a gearbox into here. Actually, you know what? Let's just power them from here. Look at that. How fancy. And then we'll place that there. It gets pressed. And there we go. And then all we have to do is hook in refined storage and just say it's 1-to-1. This over here is going to get a crafter put on it. That is going to send 1 obsidian for the craft. And that's it. I mean, that's pretty straightforward, right? Throw the obsidian in. it processes. If there's extra obsidian, I'm kind of waiting to see that happen. There is. We'll put this back on here. Switch it. Just like that. That should get reprocessed. Waiting on this. This needs to be sped up. It is pretty slow, this process. But, hey, we're making sturdy sheets. And these are what's used to make a train. So, now that we have that, let's go ahead and make our first train. So we need a brass casing. And we place this on the brass. And there we go. Oh my gosh. And I think we take this, right? We take the casing and we place it on the train track. And it makes a train? Oh no, wait, we need a... Oh no, to get the train set up, we need a station. Train station. So we need this with a compass. And there's a train station. And then you place the train station where you want your train to be. Right-click the targeted track first. So we'll click our track. And then go back. There we go. And then place our casing. This is all new to me because I've not done the trains yet. So I'm pretty excited. How do we place down the train cars? So we have to right-click this and then make sure it's in assembly mode. Okay, train assembly. So this is where we place the train. Oh boy. And if we have multiple trains, of course we can link them up. And this is where we build off of it. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, this is pretty cool. So you can like right click on the wrench to change the mode here. And so I'm sort of outlining the way this is going to look. And then I believe to link them, we need glue, which we haven't made any of this yet, but glue, I believe we click this and this. Oh no, I guess we would glue all of this together outside of this. The selected box must be connected. So like that maybe. And so we'd glue them together like this, and then they would be connected. And then of course to break it, we punch. Interesting. So I'm sort of building out a frame for a train. I feel like this should be definitely lower to the ground and it should be like right on the train. Now I know this is just a concept and completely, it doesn't necessarily work, but I thought this train looked really cool. I don't know. I think you have to have a conductor and all kinds of stuff. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how this all works, but I'm guessing this all hooks together. And when we create the train, I love the tree tracks. Assemble train. At least one forward-facing control block need to be mounted on the train. And okay, so we need a control, train controls. Okay, so we should have more of these over here. Get a couple of these placed. As you can see, ooh, these actually look really nice. They're kind of an expensive block. I've noticed my audio is also, with that train, once I place the train, some weird in-game audio stuff started to happen. Like, I don't hear blocks being placed. And weird things like that. I don't know. Let's go ahead and, like, chop into the top here. And let's call this our seat. And we can place a seat in here. And we can place our controls here as well. We're like standing on top of the train, but that should work. And then assemble. Okay. And technically the train is assembled. It says all aboard. Okay. So the controls. Oh my God. That's so cool. Like, it shouldn't go off the tracks, by the way. It should stop. Yeah. Is Reese into the tracks? Oh, that is so sick. All the things that we just put together are moving. What? Chat, guys, that is so cool. What even have I been missing out with Create? That is phenomenal. And of course, you can hook multiple trains together. And if you want to change this, I guess you go in here and you go create train. And the train that's on here, you can reassemble. Oh, that's just... Yeah. Cancel assembly. There we go. Because we didn't change anything. Wow. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Of course, I think it's time to thank the sponsor or supporter of today's video. And of course, that huge thanks is going to go to Theraner. Thank you so much for your amazing support, by the way, over on the Discord, becoming a Discord premium member. And of course, guys, if you're interested in supporting my channel in any way, of course, Discord is one of the best ways to do that. But just giving this video a big old subscribe and giving this video a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed and learned something about Create today. I, of course, learned a lot, even more to come. Oh, man, it's fantastic, though, to sort of have a train set up behind me. I'm absolutely loving this. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you, of course, in the next video. Click that subscribe button so that way whenever I do publish a new one, you'll be notified. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.